Hello, it's me again, Dane with Dane's Space. All right, today I'm going to do something a little bit different again. You're going to see me working this time, I guess. I guess you call it working. I don't know if you noticed, it kind of looks like I'm in the bathroom. I am. Today, we're going to work on my toilet. The seat hinges broke. I haven't explained how that happened, but anyway, I'm sure if you own a toilet, you've had that happen occasionally. But what we're going to do today is we're taking a universal kit I bought at Home Depot. We're taking the universal kit of hinges. You see the picture of it. And I'm going to take that. I've showed you a picture of some tools that I'm using. And I'm going to kind of get you caught up on to where I'm at right now. Some of this stuff I've already done, so I didn't have to extend this video. First of all, when I got here, the hinges on the seat, here's the seat. The hinges here, the screws, and on the lid, here's the lid. You can see I've already taken the hinges off of. But both of those, the screws had rusted. So when I took to take them out, they wallered the holes out, okay? So the new screws, even though I tried to put it back together, the new screws wouldn't go in and stay because the holes were too big. So I had to go in, and I took me some JB wood weld. See it right there? That, wood weld. I'll show it to you again. I'll have you some links on where you can find all this stuff. But anyway, I took some wood weld yesterday, and I went through and patched all the holes, filled the holes up with that. It's a hard epoxy. What it did is it filled my holes up, so now I got to go back and drill new holes for the screws, but there's a slight difference. The hinges are not the same. This is a universal hinge set. It's not matched. I could not find the ones to match mine. I went to hardware stores, I went online, I went everywhere trying to find those hinges, but nobody seems to have them unless you buy the whole commode lid, seat assembly, which I can go to Walmart and get for about $14. I get the cheap one. It's wood, but it's cheap. And like I said, I can go to Walmart, buy the whole thing about 14, 15 bucks. But I bought this whole kit at Walmart for just over $6, tax and all. So I figured, hey, what the heck? I ain't got nothing to do all day, and I need to make a video anyway. So here we go. Now, some of it I'm going to skip and come back to and tell you what I've done so that you're not here watching me do a lot of this stuff, okay? But the first thing I did is I showed you what you needed. You definitely need to measure between the holes. I'm fixing to bring the camera down here so that you'll see what I'm talking about. On the back of the toilet, where the holes are at, right here. Let me move this sideways so you can see them. Right at the back of the toilet where the hinges go, we're measuring between those two holes where the screws go through. And the screws are in the kit. Those will be plastic screws, plastic hinges. I couldn't even find metal. I tried to find metal hinges as well. But now what we're going to do here is I've got to mount these two together. What I did is once I measured that, I laid the hinges on here to make sure that when I put the new hinges on, that the distance between those hinges and here is going to be the same as it is on there so I don't mess up. I've already done that. On mine, my distance is, I measured my distance, I laid my hinges on here to make sure that the centers lined up with the centers on those two holes. Okay, so now, I'll bring my camera back here. So now what I'm fixing to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drill new pilot holes in here. I'll come back, I'll be showing you those as I go. But I've got to drill pilot holes and mount my hinges to these two pieces. And on one side, put it together, and put all this together, the seat and the lid, then I'll set it down and mount it back on. Part of what I had to do, like I told you before, because I'll show you this in just a second. I'm going to drill I've already drilled the other one. I want to go through the epoxy just far enough to hit wood. I don't want to come all the way through the back. You see, I did not bring my here, but I've drilled both of these because this hinge, the old hinge went this way, right there, okay? And the new hinge goes this way, okay? So you got a little bit of difference between the two hinges, right? So you gotta compensate for that. So when you get those two drilled, on this particular one here, I drill both of those, then I can figure out where I got to put the other one. Okay, with this specific universal hinge set, which I actually should have known better, it does not fit this seat exactly. So what I'm having to do is remeasure. Okay, you see I got my screws put in. These are tight. Okay, they're put in, and I had to move my screws over, and I just re-drilled, put new screws in. Okay, so I can set this down right here, and now I can verify it just to make sure before I go too far. I'm gonna put that one right there, that one right there, and I can pop my two screws in, and still got, and this is where my end caps go. These will go on here, like so, to screw on the bottom of the lid part, okay? So now we got to work on that part. Okay, a few things I've done so far. All right, so I went ahead and put my screws in here, those plastic screws, not tight, just snug, so it'll hold my hinge in place. Now, I've set this seat is on there. See, it's already sitting, so it's there. Now, this one goes this way. All right, so what I do is I turn it over this way. Now, I'm gonna send these back, and I'm gonna center this seat. I'm gonna make sure it looks pretty close to center. All right, so I'm gonna get that really close in there. Look at it, eyeball it. In fact, I can pretty much center it using these markers and put them right on the same spot on both hinges, and I'm gonna be mighty close. If you look at it, that looks pretty close. Now, I can flip these over, make sure they tuck, they snug up, like so. Then I can take my marker, set right here, and it's not long enough to make a dot. So I change up my theory just a little bit. We go back over here and get my drill. I'll get my drill bit. If I had a pencil, I could sharpen it down, but I don't. So what we're going to do here, we hold all of that together. Now, when I got through with it, there's my two new holes right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to have to go back and drill those holes out like I did a while ago, but I'm going to make sure I don't go all the way through. I've drilled my new holes. I've done mounted one side of the hinge. Okay, so what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to take it, I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. Now that one's set. The other side, that's kind of to hold it for me a little bit. We'll slide that one on. Okay, we're going to take our drill here, all right, and we're going to get us a screw. Here we go. All right, we're going to pull this hinge up, and we're going to try to put one screw in, which is going to be this one. Okay. Now, we've got that one. Back over here and get the other one. Okay, now, just a little bit tighter. All right. Okay. All right, so our seat is done. All we have to do now, swap back over to our flat blade. Run this one. Run this one. All right, that one's ready. All right, there we have it. All we have to do now is take our towel off. And we're done. Oh, I'm sorry. We clip our little covers back on. Clip them, snap them down. Okay, there we go. Now, the only difference I had to make was the screws that came with this kit. Let me pull this camera up so you can see me talking. The screws that came with this kit, those little silver stainless steel screws, were too long for the top. They weren't too long for the bottom, but they were too long for the top. So I had to go to 3/8. Those were ½ inch. Those were 3/4 inch, and I had to go back down to ½ inch, maybe even 3/8. I think I ended up with 3/8 inch. The screws on the lid were just a little bit shorter, about half the length, because it was in. As you can see right here, I actually had one of the screws come through, so I'll patch that up with some white paint, and it won't matter. I'll be happy with that. But now we can back to using our toilet again like it's supposed to be used. All right, and we're happy. We're happy. And so anyway, thank you all for joining me. Before ending this video, I want to take a moment and thank all of our heroes, all of our armed forces out there protecting our country and helping to keep it free. To the veterans of this great nation, I say thank you. May God bless you and your families for the sacrifices you made for us. To our military who have passed on, I want to thank your families in remembrance of you and your service. We also want to thank those other heroes out there risking their lives daily, helping to keep us safe and protected. That would be our EMTs, firefighters, and law enforcement. Thank all of you for loaning us your heroes for a time. May God bless and keep you on your life's journey. Okay, that's it for this video. We want to thank you for stopping by and spend some time with us. We appreciate you, we really do. We also want to remind you that over in Proverbs in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 46, verse 1, it says that, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in time of trouble. So, folks, when things are going bad, they're looking kind of rough, remember, He's there with you. He cares about you. He loves you. And He only wants what's best for you. So depend on Him. Trust in Him. If you're not already a part of His family, you ought to look into it. Okay? Very simple. The Word of God says that believing that we're saved by faith, not by actions. We can't win that. We can't earn it. We can only do it through faith in Jesus Christ. So anyway, y'all come back to see us again. While you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And that way you'll get a notification every time. And give me a thumbs up if you want to, or didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. I don't mind. I'm gonna continue to do what I do. I love it. I'm having fun. So anyway, God bless you. We'll catch you next time. You know what? Yep, we're out of here.